There I go. Where you going? We're live. Hey, what's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Daily Smoke Live on this Wednesday. It's Hump Day.
Absolutely.
Hump Day.
In the bag.
So welcome to another episode. Much love for your support, as I always say. Just thank you for being here. And, hey, I'm Brother Los.
I'm Brother Ron.
Brother Blackhand.
Brother Blackhand on the cam as always. And we are the Daily Smoke. And
yes, we are indeed. Here. What's happening, family? What's happening? How's everybody doing, man?
I'm good.
Good.
It's Wednesday, so I think they would kind of went a little bit faster than yesterday. Yesterday was slow as fuck.
That's what's up.
Remember I text you, man, it's been a long damn day.
Yeah.
It felt like, man, I've been sitting here all damn day. Like, when is this day over? Shit. The day went a little bit smoother.
The worst of it.
Right.
Over
it's going now. We're going sliding into the weekend.
You know what I mean? It's all downhill. It's all downhill. How your week been, Brother Hood?
More than likely, it's plan is good.
I feel you.
Riding with it, smile on my face, keep it pushing.
Hey, man, that's all you can do. And thank you so much for our studio audience, sitting down and hanging out with us and everything. We miss you. Thank you so much. So much.
That's right. She missed a couple of shows.
She missed a couple, yeah.
Oh, just one?
Just one? Oh, we missed you.
Right.
We missed you. Thank you so much for coming back. We do appreciate you. Thank you so much. So, yeah, man, what else you been up to, man?
Nothing. Just trying to get this going. Do what we can do and work.
Yeah.
Get high, work.
Yeah.
Play some PlayStation.
Yeah.
And just chill.
Yeah. Speaking of getting high, man, I can't wait till we talk to the dude that's going to be on the show tonight, Brother Captain Howdy, man. Like, I am so excited that he is joining us tonight in studio, and we really appreciate it, man. I promise you. So you guys definitely have a good show to look forward to.
I saw something today, man, that I forgot what the fuck it was, but what it was, some type of shit that was going on. And I was like, they can do this shit?
What you mean?
I can't remember what it was. It was some kind of government shit that they were doing something some way that I was like, they can just do that? But I can't remember what the hell it was. I was trying to think of it earlier, and I'm like, man, it was earlier today. I just happened to see that. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Right.
That was another one of my what the fucks.
Right.
I can't remember what the hell it was, man. Like, damn. I know they've been, right now, it's all about Trump getting ready to go to jail.
Ooh.
That's all they talking about right now. So I don't know, hey, do whatever you have to do.
What do y'all think about that?
I mean, like I said, for me, it's like, hey, you're a citizen of this country just like me. You're not above me just because you're the president. We got away from that shit. So you have to account for what the fuck you did. Everybody's responsible for what they did. Just because you were there, we left you alone while you were there. We gave you that much respect. But now that you're a regular one of us again, now you really got to follow these laws. You had to follow them all along anyways. So you're not above us, bro. So come face. If you're gonna do some dirt, pay the con. If I gotta go to jail for doing some shit like that, you gotta go to jail for doing some shit like that too. Goddamn. Your money will get you out before you get me out. But hey, you still, at least you get indicted. That's like, hey, at least we know, yeah, you did that shit. You paid your way out of fucking prison, but you did that shit. You did that shit. We all know you did that shit. That's why your ass is in jail.
What do you think, studio audience? What are your thoughts on it?
I don't know. I think Oh, well, I was just feeling that, they it's a waste of the taxpayers' money because they should have went at them at the time it happened. Wait, just 7, 8 years because they can only get them on the payment for the
Stormy Daniels, whatever her name is.
Try to cover up some shit.
So, I mean, you should have used that same force and ambition at that time. It makes it great. I think power. But
like I said, we gave you the respect of not doing that shit to you while you are president.
No.
But now you're a regular motherfucker. We're going to get you now for sure.
No, that shouldn't have been. Because that's my thing. What made a difference now that you have, technology came out, and it's looked up somewhere, did that, but hey, but you can't, what they say, you can't bring a sitting president to court, whatever it is. You can't-
Especially when you don't want the
Well, you
right.
can impeach him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You can impeach
you
him,
can get rid of them that way.
and then that would give you access to him if you impeached him at that point.
But we didn't want what his replacement was going to be. So fuck,
Because it almost happened with Nixon.
Mm-hmm. So he said, "Fuck it, I'm out."
Man, like, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure this is going to have, like, this is going to go good. I think when you start, man, bringing your head of state into a court, I just think in the wrong hands that same thing could be done, and that wouldn't be good. Because if you can start bringing your presidents to trial like this, yeah, you're subject to the same laws, but you also start looking a whole lot of like the countries that we really most despise. You start looking more and more like them when you start doing that. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's a good thing, man. Like you had an FBI all up in this man's house. Like I can only imagine it's gonna be open season. That's the point I'm making. It's gonna be open season, man. I don't know if they want to cross this line, man. But I think he guilty as a
They
motherfucker.
done crossed it already.
He is guilty.
They done crossed it. They want to show us that no peace.
And we knew he was guilty.
Wasting people money right now. You should have went out on that beforehand.
It's all right.
It's just too late.
He gonna pay for that shit.
To go back on that.
We ain't paying for that. He paying for that. He got to pay to get himself out of this shit. We don't have to pay for that shit.
That was a business deal.
So that's my thing, man. Like if we talking about, I mean, we just gonna keep it real. You're talking about a lot of white people with a lot of big money.
Yep.
My whole question was like, Trump, who you didn't pay, man?
I know.
Like you should have enough money where this wouldn't be a problem for you.
There's one person you forgot, guys.
Who the hell did you forget? You know what I mean? Who did you think? Like
forget?
this problem is supposed to be
Who did
gone.
get the invoice?
You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
This problem's supposed to be gone. We're gonna settle this with money.
Somebody's cash app didn't ring on their
You know
phone.
what I'm saying? Like that's
It's like,
that's what's tripping me
I got
out, man.
info. I got info.
You gotta be better than that.
You know, like, shit,
you
you
got the money.
cover everything.
You got the money.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You got the money. I don't understand that. But speaking of money, hey, we want to first and foremost thank all of the sponsors
What's up,
of
Danny?
the Daily Smoke. What's up, Danny? Thank you so much. Thank you so much, fam. Thank you for the sponsors of the dailysmoke.com, starting first and foremost with Bangin' 832 Radio.
Bang it.
www.bangin832.com. Past episodes of the Daily Smoke every Sunday at 7 p.m. Support the Daily Smoke every Sunday at 7 p.m. on Bangin' 832 Radio. Thank you so much for supporting the local artists that you do, Bangin' 832. We even know some of the artists that you all have put on your platform because they invited us to their bar and club and treated us with respect.
Right.
Had a really good time. And now you're giving them, these people an audience. Like, yeah, man, we remember. So, like, you supporting very solid acts. You supporting very solid people. So, like, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Bangin' 832. Next up, we got Tamia's Touch of Care Massage Therapy. To get with life, get a massage.
Touch my body.
Tamia's Touch of Care Massage Therapy. Visit her at www.tamiaanderson.com. And if you ever had a good reason to support a cause, please, by all means, do business with Tamia. She will take care of you. She'll make sure she's fully present and be fully attentive. Thank you so much for the level of care because your love comes through your art. Thank you so much. It really does, the love of what she does come through her art. It really does. Thank you, Tamia. Thank you so much for believing in us. We believe in you.
Sure enough.
And then next up, we got the Buy Black Marketplace. It's the ultimate pop-up experience. They're calling all vendors every first and third Saturday from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. at 5309 MLK Boulevard or the Shrine of the Black Madonnas. You would better, know them by. They have free yoga classes. They have free African history classes. They have different, cooking classes or what have you. And they also have people that are vendors there that are selling spices that would have to go like to another part of the city, and give it to somebody, that we know they ain't got these spices. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like we know these spices. We know these spices came from. You can support someone that that's growing these spices that you can put on your food, flavor your, your meat and everything, and it's natural. You know where it came from. It came from your community. So please support these people over at the Buy Black Marketplace every first and third Saturday from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m., okay? And that's at 5309 MLK Boulevard. And then next up, we got Puff Pass It CBD and more at 4130 and a half Cavalcade in Houston, Texas, 77026. Check them out. They're on Instagram, Facebook, they're on Twitter, they're on Yelp. If you want to send them an email, shoot them an email at puffpassit20@gmail.com, or you can speak with Tanya Ashley herself. Her number is 713-766-6631. I guarantee you, if you literally go to her establishment, she will treat you with the utmost, level of care, man. It's almost like a spa,
Right. Right.
Like she was, hey, man, and everything we wanted, she took care of us, made sure we were, well provided for, and we was able to do business with her or what have you, and we was releasing the products that we bought. So please support this woman. She really
What's up,
providing
Veronica?
a good. Hey, Veronica, what's happening, love? She really is. They she's really promoting a good business.
Right,
Period.
Mm-hmm.
And the CBD part, if you're worried about, THC or whatever, you ain't got to worry about
Don't have none of
that. This is just the herb. You know what I mean?
This is the goodness of
It's a good part. You have to get that old way out of your thing.
That's that
You got to get it out of
shit.
there.
That's right.
Got to get it out of there. And then next up, we have none other than us, thedailysmoke.com. Check us out. We're at www.thadailysmoke.com. We have all of our upcoming episodes, all of our guests that will be visiting us at least for the next month and a half, which I'm very excited about. You'll know also what we're going to be discussing in terms of each of these episodes. So if you wanted to come on the show, which we really would prefer,
I know, for sure.
you know what I mean? If you want us to do an interview with you, we will. Or if you just want to be a participant and be with us, we can remote you in as well.
Right.
So, hey, we would love to have you because we believe that we're having I believe we're having the hard, honest conversations that you always wanted to have with someone else, but you never really could find somebody to have a conversation with.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Weren't sure
that's the conversation we're having.
Shit.
You know what I mean?
You weren't sure if you could talk about
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Until you open your mouth and you realize that I think the same way, man.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm with you, man.
That's exactly right.
And now you're like, damn,
That's exactly
I should
right.
have talked about this shit sooner.
That's exactly right. That's why we value everyone's opinion. We don't care who you are. Again, as long as you ain't on that crazy shit. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about.
Your neck.
You know what I'm talking about.
know?
But if you sit forward and say, "Hey, look, here's an alternate reality. Here's a different way of looking at it, or what have you." We're receptive to that.
Right.
We're receptive to that, and we'd love to have those conversations with you guys. Okay, so check us out.
Yeah, we learned about digital property and shit.
Yeah, man.
Digital real estate.
Absolutely, we sure did. That was deep, wasn't it? That was deep. That was deep.
That's past episodes. Go check them out. You'll see what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But that's cool. So, but yeah, man. You can get into this if you want.
All right, you want to go ahead and go into it, huh?
Let's get into it.
All right, man. So,
make sure you unmute him, Bob.
Is he? He's with us. You good? Oh, all right, cool. So, the gentleman we have on the show tonight is a good friend of mine. I've known Howdy well over. It's been 12 years.
Yeah, 12. It's been a while since
Yeah.
GT5 days.
Yeah, GT5 days.
It's been a while. Yeah. At least 12, 13.
Yeah, but
I've been with Amy that long, and it was
way before then.
Amy. So,
wow.
So it might have been 15 years.
About 15 years.
Yeah,
I started to say 15.
Yeah.
I started to say 15. And over the 15 years, Howdy and I struck up a very good close friendship. And it's really an honor to know this man because, after Howdy and I had spoken recently, we hadn't spoken before then for a number of months, actually about a year. Because time, life.
Mm-hmm.
But and he's not on video games, and I'm not on video games, and saying that kind of stuff like that. So we just never came across each other as frequently. You know what I mean?
Right.
And man, when I connected with Howdy, when I heard how different he was, I was like, oh my God, I get to learn my friend all over again.
Right.
And he's willing to come onto the show and share what we talked about in front of you all and with everyone else. And he is okay with continuing the conversation that we had, which was basically overcoming addiction.
Right.
Please.
And before you let him in, this is another form of, like, when we talked about gaming that one time.
Gaming, yeah.
This is a friendship formed from gaming.
Absolutely.
You didn't know who the hell he was when we were driving with him. Just some dude named Captain Howdy.
Absolutely.
Was cool, that raced with us once we got to talking.
That's exactly right.
We met. He was cool. So
that's
here
exactly
we are,
right.
15 years later.
That's exactly right.
And where he's gracious enough to tell us his story.
Thank you, Howdy.
Yeah.
So we got Captain Howdy up, man.
Yep.
Howdy, can you see us? Chilling, man.
Hey.
Chilling, man. Good to see you, man.
Brother.
Good to see you, brother. Good
What's
to see
happening?
you. Man, chilling, man. Chilling. What's the good word, good man?
Hey, man, you were talking about rich white dudes a minute ago.
Uh-huh.
Did you hear that the UFC bought WWE?
Yes, I did. For what? Was it $8 billion?
That's how much the
Some crazy
WWE,
number.
that fake shit cost? $8 billion?
$8 billion.
Yeah, that's
the
how many
UFC
motherfuckers love
on they're not even super management anymore.
That's
it's like some other people now. But yeah, man, that's a lot. What's happening, bro? Look at it, man.
That's crazy, yeah.
See it now.
Yeah, man. But yeah, that was a lot of money exchanged, man. For
So
real.
the bald-headed
Yeah,
dude
I
owns
didn't really see that
WWE
one
now?
coming, you know?
No, he's the president.
Oh, that's all not his shit.
Yeah,
He
no,
started
no,
this shit,
no,
but it's
oh,
not
no,
a company
oh, no.
with other motherfuckers
No.
on parts of it.
So what the UFC did was the reason it was started was because the Fertitta brothers got it. That's also Fertitta that lives here in Houston, like that owns the Rockets.
Mm-hmm.
Their cousin or the two Fertitta brothers with Dana White that owns UFC.
Mm.
Dana White is like he's like the minor owner. So
Okay.
they were like, hey, okay, we're the major players. You still get a percentage, all that kind of stuff. They use their money that they got from selling the UFC to bring the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, okay. So that's what
They own the Las Vegas Raiders.
how much money
That's
they
what
got.
they did.
Well,
man.
they sold the UFC for like $4 billion, I think.
There it is.
That's
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
They paid like $2 million for it in like the 90s or whatever.
Absolutely.
And they sold it for
They sure did.
$4 billion.
They sure did. It's a real success
Now
story.
the UFC just bought $8 billion more. So
$8
they're
billion
worth 10,
more, man.
15
My
billion
God.
now.
For real.
That's how
Yeah,
much money
pretty
they're gonna be
crazy,
worth.
man.
So Howdy, man, if you can,
Yeah, man.
if starting out, man, first and foremost, brother, it's really good to see you again, man.
Sure enough.
It's really good
Yeah,
to
man,
see
likewise.
Thank you for doing this with us.
you. Yeah, man. Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, man, if you can, man, if you just briefly, for those of us that aren't as familiar with you, just tell us a little bit about yourself, man, in any way.
Yeah, man. So like, I'm almost 38 years old. I'll be 38 in a couple months.
Young buck.
Lived a pretty crazy life. Started doing drugs at a really young age, like 12, 13. And it was like a crazy all out, like, excess, for a long, long time, Yeah, got a daughter. She'll be 12 this year. Yeah, man, just had a crazy life, trying to make it happen through this crazy thing we call life,
I feel that. Howdy.
Yeah.
How old were you when you were first introduced to drugs, as far as you can remember?
Yeah, man, probably like 12.
Well,
So
What was
like
the
I
drug?
started, it was weed.
Okay.
It was weed.
But back then it was a drug. It's not a
But,
drug anymore.
but back then, yeah, that was the mid 90s,
Mhm.
mid to late 90s. And well, I mean, of course, it was illegal then. Here in Arizona, it's legal. So but yeah, so I started doing that, and then you know, just hanging around the wrong crowd. You start drinking, and then you start doing other things, and then one thing leads to another, you know. And yeah, man, and I was able to manage everything for a long time, you know, but yeah, after like 20 something years, you can't, yeah, you can't do it, you know.
Catches up to you sooner or later.
Yeah, man, and then like it, you know, I mean, like I said, I had a crazy life. I worked at UPS for 10 years in the warehouse. So I'm unloading trucks, you know, like slinging boxes, moving heavy crap,
Mhm.
and tore my rotator cuff. Uh, I was probably like 26 at the time, 27. And yeah, then I started taking pain pills from it, you know, and then next thing you know, like I'm taking more and more and more, you know,
The
and you're
motherfuckers
hooked.
got good.
Yeah, I mean, you feel good, man. In the beginning, it's nice. You feel freaking amazing. You're like, man, I'll get in there and I'll do whatever and knock it out, you know. But yeah, it eventually it will get you. It'll take a hold of you, you know.
So, how does my witness? What caught me off guard after how long ago was it that we had well we just caught up about 2-3 months ago. How long did we go without
Yeah,
speaking?
man, it was a while, you know. I mean, yeah, I mean, probably for at least a year that I can remember, and we probably
Right,
just spoke briefly then, you know. But like, yeah, like you guys were saying back on like the GT5 days, you
right,
know, like so that's how we met. That's how Ron and I met. Pretty crazy, you know, like we met on the video game. Like I've never met Ron in person,
right.
you know, but like it was cool, man. He was just like and at the time I met Ron, I was going through some crap in life, you know, like me and my kid's mom were splitting up and I didn't really take it that well. And Ron was there with just awesome advice, you know. So thank you, Ron. You've been there. Dude, you don't even know how much support you've been to me
Man,
over
thank you,
all the
man.
years, you know?
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
Thank
man. Yeah, it's been
you.
but that's the thing, like I never went to rehab for any of it, you know. I never like I just figured like maybe I was too embarrassed to tell people. Like I didn't even really let anybody know how bad it was. You
Mhm.
know, people just thought I was out partying and doing crazy shit, but like it was getting pretty dark, but I didn't let anybody know. You know? Uh, maybe kind of hints here and there, like I would get some advice, you know, or like throughout the years, you know, I'd be calling you up, Ron, man, this girl, this or this or that, and
Right,
you'd be like, hey,
right,
Howdy, come
right,
on, man, okay, here, X, Y, and
right.
Z, you know, okay, thanks, Ron, you know. Yeah, just a lost dude for a long time, you know, didn't have any direction in life, you know.
Howdy. Oh, so
Yeah,
So you weren't in communication with him while he was getting this fixed,
so that's exactly the point that I'm trying to get to.
right?
I have known Howdy since
We said 15 years.
2000 exactly. So what? 2012
Yep. 12,
roughly.
13, around that time. Yep.
Yeah, 12. Let's see. Not even more.
Maybe closer to like 11.
Yeah, 2011. Right.
yeah,
Okay, let's rock with it. Man, the entire time from 2011 to about 3 months ago, Howdy and I, at some point, I used to struggle with alcohol real bad. Howdy always struggled with pills. During the entire time we saw
right,
each other, or talked and all that kind of stuff, modern technology. But like we saw each other more in our dysfunction. You know what I mean? It's
right,
I'm staying drunk, he's staying high, that kind of stuff. And then you go cold turkey for a little while, he go cold turkey, whatever, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? When I talked to Howdy about 3 months ago, 2 months ago, what have you, The moment I heard him, I was like, man, something different here. And I hadn't spoken to him in about a year and two, 3 months, somewhere up in there. Because the last time me and Howdy was talking, which was about 13, 15 months before, he, at that time, stopped doing drugs. So while he was recovering from drugs and stayed drug free, I am having the privilege of seeing this dude for the very first time.
Right, right.
And I can hear it. And I'm like, oh my God, I remember you would have handled something way different.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I was so impressed by the man that you are, Howdy. Thank you for sharing that journey with us, man. For
Thanks,
real.
Ron. Yeah, it's well, like I said, I've had a lot of support from awesome people like you. You know, just different, just different people giving advice, or maybe try this or try that. But Ron, with the alcohol addiction, like I mean, you don't think right. You're not
That's
thinking
true.
normal.
That's true.
You think you are. You think you're thinking normal,
That's
but you're
true.
not.
That's true.
So what
And
was
it's
it that
like,
what was it that made you say, you know what, I'm done with this shit, man?
you know what, dude? It was like a 10-year battle of stupid mistake after stupid mistake after stupid mistake. Leading me down roads that go absolutely nowhere, and then I keep making the same mistake because I'm all just jacked up on pills. Not thinking straight. But yeah, it was. Yeah, it just got to the point where I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. Literally. Like I was just sick and tired of feeling like crap. I was sick and tired of nothing ever going right in my life. I was sick and tired of just how things were turning out. And it's because of the choices that I was making, or the lack of choices I was making. And yeah, and I think what really got it going is that, I'm not with her now anymore, but my ex-girlfriends, definitely opened my eyes to like a whole different way of life, that I had never seen before.
That's cool.
And I was like, damn, man, this is possible, like, because I grew up, man, like nobody had any goals or direction or ambition. It was just whatever. But like, she
Go to
was super
school, get a job,
successful.
get married, have babies.
That's it, dude. Work construction or whatever, just work some shit job. But yeah, so like, she's super successful, and just showed me a different way of living, and like just kind of woke me up, and it worked. I think I was just ready. I was also ready. You got to be ready too.
Right.
Like there's a lot of people that are like, yeah, I'm going to go to rehab, I'm going to do this, and then they fall off the wagon. That's because
Right.
they ain't ready.
Now
They really truly don't want to quit.
during all this time when you were doing this and you were, really drugged out, was your daughter around a lot?
So like no, so she was with her mom most of the time. Like I'd get her on the weekends, or like every other weekend. But I would spend as much time like as I could with her, driving all over Arizona, like I mean, driving like crazy. So no, when I had my daughter, I wouldn't do it, So yeah, I mean, I was actually smart when it came to that. I was like, nope, I'm gonna stay sober. No, no, none of that crap. I'd only have her for a couple
It's
days,
only
like
a
on the
couple of
weekend.
days anyways, yeah. So it's like,
Yeah,
but that's cool. At
yeah,
least you kept that part of your head straight.
Howdy.
yeah. I didn't want to make any more stupid mistakes or bigger mistakes, So
Howdy. What at like now that you've been sober for so long, looking back at your the time that you spent using,
yeah.
what made you depend on drugs to get through? What were you dealing with?
I just think it was just now that I have the opportunity to look back with a clear head and see it, I just think it was just a dysfunctional childhood.
Really,
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, dysfunctional
really,
childhood. So
He started
really,
fucking
I
around
mean,
at 12, just
yeah,
like me,
really.
12 years old. I was getting high, drinking, doing crazy shit.
Wow.
It was because of my cousin seeing him shoot up one day, and I'm thinking he didn't do shit with this lady. I'm like, I'm good. Now, I always tell people, had he got up after he did that, let's go, nigga, I'd have been like, oh no, hold up, man, I want some of that too.
Right,
But he
right,
just sat there and
yeah.
didn't do
right,
shit. I'm like, I'm good. I'm never gonna try that shit. Went
right,
about my way,
right.
you know. And
But
anytime that I
also
would
too, it's
feel
like
like
the
I'm
crowd
doing
you
too
hang
much,
around.
what's that?
It's also like the crowd you hang around too.
Right, right,
You
right. Because all
know.
my friends, we like to drink and get high and do whatever we. Some of them did. They did. I never did pills. They always did the speed pills. I'm like, you know what? I'll just smoke a joint and I'm
Yeah.
good. And we would drink and get all fucked up.
Yeah. No, man. I've done everything under the sun. But the pills, man, it just made you feel freaking wonderful.
Yeah, I
For
was
for
always
me,
scared
like
of it.
everybody's got a different reaction. Like some
Hmm.
people take it and they pass out or they get sick or whatever. But for me, it was like, dude, like let's go get some shit done. Like I'm ready to rock and roll.
Right,
Right.
But
So a
yeah,
dysfunctional
man.
childhood. So for you, you know how like you have some people that are addicted to drugs because they took a hit of that crack pipe and ooh, best feeling ever,
loved
and
it,
they
boy.
kept trying to
Ooh.
replicate that feeling again,
Mhm.
But then you
Right,
got another side where there are some people that use drugs because they're coping with
Mhm.
something,
Mhm.
because
right,
something happened to them,
And
right.
that's
or
how they
they
get
had to
away.
endure something,
Right. That's how they get it out their head. This
and this is
drug
how
takes
they
me somewhere
cope to
else.
become functional.
Hmm.
You know what
Right.
I
Right.
mean?
Right.
And my goodness, let me ask you, since being sober, have you noticed any changes in your relationships with your family and or friends? Did you notice any changes in those areas?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you know, there's a lot more communication now
Really?
than there was before. Just going and seeing them more often. Trying to be in everybody's lives more instead of choosing to not be in everybody else's lives. So including like my mom, brother and stuff. Like I said, I didn't have a good relationship with my parents growing up, and I think that's what led to all the crap. But everything's good now. Like I have the best relationship I've ever had with them, and everything's good.
That's good.
We
That's
got a
good.
question for you here. Go ahead.
Did your parents
Yeah.
have addiction?
Say that again.
Your parents have addiction?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Like both my parents smoked weed. So I mean, maybe that was the extent. Like my dad drank a lot, so maybe an alcoholic, but there was never any heavy drug use. To my knowledge, from them, if there was, they hit it pretty damn good. But yeah, there was never anything like that.
Or it would have been when you were real young. They were still young themselves, so
Right,
you don't
right,
know what's going
yeah,
on anyways and shit.
right. You don't know. I mean, and two, you don't know what goes on behind closed doors unless someone says something. So, um, and back then, a lot of parents hid that shit from their kids. Like they didn't, at least like where I grew up. It was like hush hush. We don't want people knowing about that. So,
Howdy. I want to ask you a question. It's, and I'm not being as cynical. I promise you. I promise you. I'm not being
all
as
right.
cynical. I am not being as cynical as the question I'm about to ask. But it is a legitimate question I really wanted to ask. Like you and I remember when we were struggling with our addictions, self-destructive behaviors. I would be on
Right.
alcohol, you would be on pills, whatever. And there would be times where I'd be like, man, I ain't gonna drink no more. And then, how they'd be like, I ain't gonna do no more. We go through these alternating currents.
Mhm.
And it became more of a less like The next time you hear like, man, I'm finna stop drinking. Oh, quit lying, man. You done tried 8, 9 times before.
Right.
It became that kind of routine. You know what I mean? But now this is real. My question, Howdy, is why now? Why now?
I don't know. I just I feel I just feel like I've lived such a hard, crazy life. It's time to take care of myself because, well, that too. And then, like, man, I've had a lot of people die around me lately, you know, and it just kind of puts things into perspective a little bit. Like, dude, if I keep doing what I was doing, that's where I'm going to be. Like, there ain't no question. That's what's going to happen, you know. And then when you get older, man, you're not 20 years old anymore, you
Right.
know?
We talk about that
Like,
all the
you can't,
time.
We
Like,
just had that
yeah,
conversation.
don't do
We
this.
just
yeah,
had
you
that
can't
conversation.
sit there and freaking party like you could when you're 20, even though in your mind you think you're 20 and you think you can, but your body's like, nah,
Not
No,
not
you
sir.
know?
today.
No, ma'am.
Yeah, that's what when you said you were 38, right?
Yeah, almost 38,
See,
yeah.
that's why I'm glad you were able to fix this before 40.
Oh, God,
You
yes.
know,
Right,
so you
right.
fixed it at the
Yeah,
right time.
yeah, me too, man.
Yeah.
Like it's just like I said, I think it was just burned out and sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I wanted to change, and I was tired of, you know, hopping from couch to couch and place to place
Mhm.
I
and
remember.
town to town, you know, like that shit gets old, man, and you
I
get burned
remember.
out. And I lived in my truck for 6 months,
I
you know, in
remember.
my single cab Chevy truck because I chose to do pills rather than be an adult,
Right.
you know, and you know, and it cost me a lot. It really did, you know, but you know, I mean, now that I'm clean and sober, you know, like life's freaking life's awesome.
Right.
You know, I feel good. Like I'm thinking clearer. Uh, you know, making more money than I've ever made in my entire life, which is
Absolutely.
nice. You know, like it can. It's life's good. You
Like
know.
Good.
the last time, the last time I talked to Howdy, this is the whole point. The last time I talked to Howdy, Howdy was talking to me about, you know, uh, going from house to house, being with chick to chick, you know what I mean? No real stability
Hmm.
in his life. But that's your brother, you know what I mean? Like whatever you're going through, wherever you at, I'm with you, you know what I mean? We ain't, you know, like we met in terms of shake hands.
Right.
But you know, we've known each other for so long that, you know, it's like we have a kinship, if you will.
Right.
So
Right.
like I would see these situations where Howdy with like no stability about him at all. Somebody make him mad, Howdy would break your jaw.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like for real. Like that was a situation when we had first linked back together. That Howdy had some problem with somebody else or something like that. And I said, Howdy, well, what happened next? And so when he told me, I was like, that's it? That's it? Like, yeah. I was like, Howdy, I remember the day that conversation would have went way left. And it would have ended up
Yeah.
with, it would involve some police. I guarantee you. Because that's the Howdy I knew. The next time I talk to Howdy, I'm getting a whole different person up here. You know what I mean? I'm getting a whole different person now.
God damn. This
You know,
is
I'm
Well,
like,
and here's the
else.
thing on that too, Ron, is that like I'm Irish, dude. So like when I was younger, I was just an angry dude. I don't know why, but I was just an angry dude. You know, like
mm-hmm.
Ready to
and
fight
it's
at all
just like
times. You know.
yeah, and you're
Sit-
fighting at all times. But then like, dude, when you're always angry and you're always pissed off and you're always looking for a fight or this, like it drains you. It's draining.
Mhm.
You know, like mentally, physically draining to be mad all the time, you know? And then it's just like you gotta let shit go, you
So,
know?
like, did 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 becoming sober get rid of your anger, or do you still need anger management skills?
No anger management skills. I
the
got it down.
It was the drugs
It was
because
the
they don't
But
even
drugs.
sound like he would have
that's what I
those.
was gonna
It
say.
was the drugs.
It's the mood fluctuations, you know. So like when you're high, you're feeling good, and you're like, man, everything's a good time, you know, laughing, joking. But then when you're coming down or you're dope sick and you feel like shit, like you want to murder somebody,
Right.
you know,
Yeah,
that's how you feel, you know.
yeah,
Like, and then you're just on edge. You're just like a walking time bomb, you know. Everything sets you off.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But
Now
when you're
you're
not,
now you're walking on sunshine.
Wow,
yeah, that's it,
wow.
dude. You know, it's
You know,
yeah, man. Life's good. Life's
nice.
I'm so
it's never been
happy,
better.
man, for
It's
you.
never been better, you know. But yeah, I mean, you know, but yeah, to anybody out there watching, man, like if you go through the struggle, there's always help out there. You know,
Absolutely,
like
bro.
No.
there's always somebody to talk to. There's a lot of people that have gone through it. So just reach out and talk to somebody, man.
We got one
That's
ourselves, Vanessa.
Absolutely, absolutely,
She does abuse counseling and stuff like
absolutely.
that. So,
She's a
nice.
LCDC.
right.
Absolutely.
Because it really helps. Like seriously, so many times over the years, like I would ask Ron for advice, you know, and Ron, man, it was always like sound, solid advice, you know. So I was just like, damn, man, that makes sense. Like, why the hell didn't I do that, you know? But it's because I was always on something, you know,
I feel that. I feel that.
not thinking right, you
I
know.
feel.
So
I
you know,
feel
you
that.
got to
Out.
surround yourself with good people, you
I
know, people
feel
that
that.
have your
Out.
best interest and likewise, you know,
Right. Yeah, because during
or
those
else.
times,
I
during
feel
those
that.
times,
That's
everybody's
real.
thinking the same way. We're all out here to get high. If I can get something off you to get high, I'm gonna take that shit from you.
Yeah.
You know, so
Right.
you're always on edge.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, you know, so it's like if you surround, you know, it's like they say you're a product of your environment, you know, like or what's the other saying, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. You
Yeah.
know,
Right.
if you're hanging around a bunch of freaking drug addicts, man, you ain't gonna get nowhere, you know? So
When you started out in recovery, man, or you started getting clean or what have you, dealing with withdrawals and that kind of stuff. Did you struggle with all of that?
so like I think the worst withdrawals that I had, like I still used for probably another like 2 years after that, but I managed I didn't let it get that bad.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, dude, the withdrawals were horrible, Ron. They
Were they?
were like it was like 2 to 3 weeks, man. I was on the toilet just all day. My stomach was jacked. You had the runs, restless leg syndrome. You know, like you try to sleep and you feel like you got to move.
Oh shit.
Uh, hot and cold sweats for like a month. Um, like you don't really eat that much either. You know. Yeah, it sucks, man. It felt like I was dying, and I didn't tell anybody. Like I didn't tell a soul. Like I just went through it myself, you know. And I was like, I'm gonna come out of it. Like screw this shit, you know. So and yeah, man. But that's the hardest part, you know. That's why like when you're doing as much as I was doing every day, like you got to taper off, man. You got to taper yourself down to where you don't get dope sick like that
Mm-hmm.
because people could die from that.
It's how they, again, like it's so awesome to be able to see the before and after, because it's like at the time we last left off of that story, like how to work UPS here, then he would come up with something else, do that for a minute, then do this and try to do
Yeah,
that. You know what I mean? Again, no stability. And then now that the
right.
man is clean now and he's living a better life, he's like, yeah, man, I'm a subcontractor with a certain, group out here in the city of, well, in Arizona, and I'm making X, Y, and Z money or what have you, getting his own place, all that kind of stuff. He's like, he's on the damn road.
Right.
And I was like, man, God bless you.
Beautiful.
That God bless
That is
you.
wonderful.
Like
I
for
said,
real.
like I
I
said,
feel like I know you, and I just met you tonight. So
God bless you.
cheers to you, staying sober
For
and
real.
moving ahead and having that confidence to step on out, boom,
you know,
away from that.
start your
Needed
40
that
chapter
push.
God
clean,
bless you,
with a clear
man.
head. And
Right. Yeah,
Like,
thank you guys for the kind words. You know, that means a lot. And it just, you know, solidifies what I did and just keep rocking and rolling, you know, going forward.
no doubt, bro. No doubt. No
You know,
doubt.
like it can only get better, you know. And I tell you what, there's no way in hell I will ever go back to that, you know. Like
Yeah.
there's no way, man.
But can I ask you a question? So being that a person have addiction with pills on pain, how do you deal with pain?
That's what I was
Come
going to
across
ask.
pain. How do you deal with it?
Now,
I just deal with it, you know. Like so like I do a lot of stretching, you know. Like every day I stretch for like 20-30 minutes in the morning, and then I stretch at night before I go to bed. Um, yeah, I mean, a lot of times, or if worst comes to worst, if I absolutely have to, I'll take like an ibuprofen, you know. But like, like, I just kind of made it up in my mind. I'm just gonna deal with it,
right?
you
Like if
know.
this
Like,
ibuprofen or this Tylenol don't do it, I'm not going to that harder shit. You know.
Yeah.
no, and that was always my train of thought when I was younger, you know. Like, oh, I'm not gonna take any pills, or if I take a pill, I'm gonna get a buzz off of it too, you know. Like, just stupid thinking, you know. But yeah, I mean, just taking better care of yourself too, to where you're not in as much pain. You know, like
Right.
my job I do is physical, so I'm constantly moving. You know, it's not crazy physical, but I'm constantly moving. So I'm not stationary. I'm not just sitting around. I am very active. So, and that helps too. That helps a lot. Eating good, you know, not eating like crap, getting good sleep. It all counts. Yeah.
Right.
And you know, like some people say, like, oh, it's a trigger, you know, I have to do this, I have to just stay away,
Yeah.
you know, like, out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
But we're just wondering on that aspect of it.
Yeah, no, I was thinking the same thing. How's he going to deal with pain now if something hurts and they give you this
Especially
medicine
Feel
again?
the work again.
You know, yeah. So,
What do you
But
say?
if you
No,
tell
you
them,
just take ibuprofen and just
like,
deal
no,
with it.
like I don't want it, they, you know, like they won't give it to you, you know,
Yeah.
or if they do, then
You don't have to take
whatever.
it. You just
But
throw them out, sell them, make
yeah,
some money.
yeah,
That's
yeah. So
That's it.
yeah,
You know what?
no,
It's funny you mentioned that because I have a patient, a former patient of mine that she's a good friend, and she always lets me know how she's doing or what have you. And whenever she has like spinal stenosis, and so sometimes she's in such agonizing pain, she needs strong medication. But because she has a history of addiction, she doesn't allow them to give her pain
That kind
medication
of shit. Yeah.
because and every time I ask her and talk to her about it, she's like, because I don't want to get back on that road
You
again.
never know.
You know?
You start feeling that
And
feeling
Or
I
again.
don't even think I didn't think about that until she brought that to my attention. You know.
so I still burn, you know, so I still, and that helps, you know, that helps a lot, like at night to help just unwind and relax and
Right.
just ease the body, you
Yeah.
know. So
Right. It's more
I mean,
natural
I think
though. It's
that
not
helps.
that. It's not, and that's
Right,
more a natural thing, not this chemical that you used to take.
right,
Right.
right, correct. Yeah, and honestly, man, weed help get me off the pills. It helped me cope a lot better with withdrawals.
Right.
You know,
Really.
like yeah,
Really.
100%.
Sure
Yeah,
enough.
yeah, yeah, man. Because like when your stomach is just jacked and it's just turning and you're just feeling like crap. Because when you eat the pain pills, they make you constipated.
Ugh.
You know? Yeah.
Yes. I
So
know.
like, man, it's crazy. So you can only imagine sometimes after you go, it's crazy. You know? But yeah, it's
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, but it helps. It helps, you know, relieve the tension of the stomach, you know, of the pain that I had, and you know, just the aches and pains in the body, you know, from the withdrawals. Yeah.
Howdy. How have you seen? Well, no better yet. In what ways have you improved as a father, and what have you learned from that whole situation? The Howdy of then versus the Howdy of now.
Man, you got to be there. You got to be there for your kid. You know, like so, like I make it a point to like like 'cause she's in band, you know, so I make it to all of her band concerts. You know, anytime she's got anything important in her life, like I go, but you know, it's like a 2 hour drive away,
Mm-hmm.
one way. You know, so I do live far. So Yeah, just being there for her, always there supporting her in whatever endeavors she wants to do, or just being there for her, you know, um, just in life and in general, and yeah, man, and just enjoying it even more now with a clear head, you
Right,
know, and
right.
and now that she's older, we can go do different things and cooler things,
Right, right,
that
right.
that I might want to do too, so
Has she ever told you that
yeah,
she sees a different you, or you were always
no,
the same?
no, I don't think I'm telling you guys, man, I hit it pretty good. I hit it
Really,
pretty good, you
really.
know. Yeah, I hit it from a lot of people. Like nobody, like you wouldn't be able to tell that I was all jacked up. You wouldn't, you
Wow,
The
know.
only difference is now, back then you were pretending and trying to hide that shit. Now you're just living it
that'll blow my
and,
high.
That
and having a
right,
good time.
right, right. But back then, like, I mean, trust me, it was a fight to put on the front so people didn't see it.
Hmm.
Like I wasn't sitting there like dozing off and all this other crap like a lot of other people do. But yeah, like I hit it very, very well. I was a functioning drug addict.
Wow.
Yeah. Like nobody knew, no, and nobody could tell, you know? Yeah.
Howdy, what would you say to someone that's that's trying to remain, sober, or they're grappling with sobriety, addiction, or what have you want to label it. What would you say to someone like that's dealing with that? What would be your words of wisdom to them?
That's battling addiction.
Yeah.
Yeah, you you gotta want it. And you don't do it on your own. Get help, you know? There especially nowadays, there's so many places and so many different ways to get help, you know? Um, because it just it goes down bad roads no matter what road you go down when you're using it. It will never, ever, ever end good, and you've got to stay mentally strong. That's the biggest part. That's where a lot of people fall off. You know, they're not they don't stay mentally strong, triggers and everything. But yeah, you got to want it, get help, talk to people, you'll be surprised at how many different people go through it, and you'll take a look at them and you wouldn't think, you know.
All those that are
But yeah,
hiding it.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and that's the thing too. There's a lot of successful people out there that do it, that hide it. That
that's true.
maybe they're ashamed of what people, when they find out, oh, Tim does oxys. Like, man, I don't want him working for me. I don't want him doing this or doing this. So like, it just, you know, it'll ruin you in a lot of different aspects.
Howdy, man. Thank you so much for coming on
Oh,
with us
no.
this evening, man, and chatting with us. And it's a real honor and pleasure to be your friend, brother. And we've known each other for a very long time, But it is an honor and a pleasure to be your friend, and just to, even before the change, it was an honor, and to see the change is astounding to me. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
So, like, God bless you. You are nothing but a blessing to me, and thank you for coming on to our podcast, man.
Hit the button.
Thank you, guys.
Applause.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you so much, bro.
Thank you guys for the kind words.
So, you got anything you want to say
No,
to
no,
him?
we should be, no, we're good. Like I said, thank you so much for, doing this with us. Hopefully we can do something else, maybe of your business or whatever. You
Anytime.
start something,
Anytime,
with
buddy.
want to help you with that. And then, like, hey, we're pretty much out. So you can stay on after we're going so we can continue,
Absolutely.
like
Absolutely.
we did. So you don't have to go.
Let's
But
do
for
it.
right now, we're thank everybody out there who watched. I wish you had, if you had questions, you had your time to call in and talk to us or type it in or whatever.
Absolutely.
So, but anyways, I'm Brother Los,
I'm Brother Ron.
Brother Blackhand.
Brother Blackhand on the cam as always with a daily smoke, and we're out.
Peace.
Peace.